Okay. Got the technical difficulties sorted out there. So I got a new headset, and I like it. For the most part. I think we have some growing pains we need to work through. So, it's really cool, right? Has this awesome feature where if I want to mute, I just flip the arm up like that, right? But sometimes it doesn't unmute itself. I got a sweet red for when it's muted. I don't know, it's kind of sketchy. Whatever. It sounds great though, and so that's plus, right? But anyway, we're kind of back on the grind. Just blowing out some steam on a Monday night. Trying to see how far we can push this, because I still haven't finished the castle yet. And I'm stingy with my cash, so let's do this tower. Let's get this going. All right. Alright, so it looks like we're off to a pretty good start. I already know where the healing stuff is. Alright, so let's charge up. Alright, so one of the adjustments that's kind of weird, right? Something that I'm noticing. It doesn't have anything to do with the game at all. But, and anybody that's out there, if I'm like completely blowing you out with the mic, let me know. Because this stuff is slightly better quality than my old headset. But the stereo isolation on this headset is so much better than it was on my previous headset. Almost too good. Alright, so as far as floors go, that wasn't too bad for a first floor run. And the healing fonts are right here. So we're back up to full health. And we're going to go to the next floor. So, what I've noticed about this game, playing it for the course of the last couple of weeks, is there are a lot of things that are destructible in the environment, but not a lot of them do anything for you. And, you know, like typical video game conditioning, I just want to break everything. Anything that I can break, I want to break. Like, I don't understand what the purpose of this rock is that I was able to hit, but it exists. Well, there's like a whole area up to the north that I missed out on. That's probably where the upgrade thing is at. Unless I get lucky. And it's down here. Alright. So, cool. It's over here. Alright, increased mobility speed. I don't know how much that's going to help in the grand scheme of things. Okay, so against all of my better judgment, I'm going to take the northern path up here and see what is going on. Alright, so I got one protection hit. Alright, there's literally nothing up there. So I've explored the rest of the map, and I guess I'm going to go to the healing well, and we'll get that all sorted out there. It's going to be interesting to play a game like PUBG with these headphones, just because of the extra audio separation. Alright, unfortunately I already have a full inventory, and I kind of like what I have, so I'll just roll with that. I don't know what that one is. This isn't going to do anything in a boss battle, so let's go ahead and... What did I just pick up? Persisting stealth for 10 seconds? That's useless too. Alright, let's go down and pick that other one up. Let's see. What is this again? Creates a magic circle. Alright, so that'll be useful when I'm like fighting bosses and stuff. Or the boss, I should say. Alright, healing circle. I don't know if this is going to be worth it. I don't know. This is a risky move. Yeah, that was dumb. Alright, let's do a super dangerous run. Let us, let's see. How much stuff of hers can we upgrade? Alright, so she's fully upgraded on energy recovery. Hey, Themo, what's going on? That's really weird that it still buffers at 480. And it probably looks like absolute trash at that rate. So what I will say is right now, especially because I'm not running like a super intensive game, I'm only pushing broadcasting at it's sitting around 40, it's just shy of 5,000 kilobits. What are you going to be streaming? like, honest to God, I need to give PUBG another try. I haven't played since they released the Sandhook map. I honestly, I can't get a feel for the game. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. It just doesn't work out for me. I honestly imagine that would be the case. Because when you're good, there's more at stake when you lose, right? Like, I'm terrible at the game, and I don't really care if I die because I know how bad I am. So when I die, it's really no skin off my back. You know, the problem I have with... So Fortnite's fun, right? Like, I don't play a lot of Fortnite anymore because I mean, I just don't play a lot of Fortnite anymore. But, I enjoy it. But I don't really like playing it, if that makes any sense. So I'm not streaming it right now because it doesn't, like, one, it's super saturated, and two, I'm not that great. But I have a lot of fun when I'm running challenges. So we're on, like, what, week 4? Yeah, so like I think like week 4 is live. But yeah, so now that more of the challenges are live, I'm probably going to do a challenge run for a stream. Like, I'm just going to run challenges over and over and over again. Alright, this weapon upgrade, it actually seems a little bit more sensible. Spec, thank you for the host. Alright, so this seems a lot more manageable now that I have my character all buffed out. Scum? Hold on, let's do a Google search. Scum looks pretty cool. We'll see how that one pans out. I mean, there's a lot of like battle royale style games that are coming out. Like we played Darwin Project for about a week and a half. That was pretty neat. I might have to look into it more. I just looked at it like super briefly. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Unless it goes free to play with microtransactions. Well, then that shouldn't be a problem. Microtransactions are fucking terrible. So I agree with the dude. Alright. So we'll go right and see what we got. Vasilini, thank you for the host. All the people coming over from Vasilini's channel, we're doing some runs in Wayward Souls. Still trying to actually complete this game. Like, I get the microtransaction thing. Like, I understand why, from a business perspective, developers do it, but it's real shitty. The name sounds familiar. Is it an older game? I think I may have just wasted that potion. Was it a PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 game? The name sounds super familiar. It was I think it was a dungeon crawler, like a JRPG style dungeon crawler, if I remember correctly. Or I might be thinking of a completely different game. I'm gonna have to check it out, either when I take a break or when I'm done on stream, just to jog my memory. Yeah, okay, I remember. It was kind of, yeah, people compared it to Pokemon with the monster breeding thing. Alright, so I already got the weapon upgrade. I'm just gonna go to the next floor, because the rest of this, like, trying to go through the rest of that's gonna be risky. I'm at max health. I burned a potion when I didn't need to. think Pokemon existed in Japan at that point when the game came out. But then again, something existing in Japan doesn't really mean jack squat, especially back in that time frame, because if it existed in Japan only, a lot of times that's just where it stayed. Now I'm curious and I'm gonna look this up. Alright, so Pokemon, just as a gee-whiz FYI, Pokemon in Japan predated that game by about a year. God damn it. I died. He did, yeah. He threw some biddies for them titties. So I'm liking rogue style games a lot more now, just because like you can play them in short chunks. But every now and again, like I still enjoy a really good single player game. Like I bought God of War on release, powered through that game in like 3 days. I really enjoyed it. I'm definitely sad that I don't have more God of War to play, which kind of isn't true because there's a whole bunch of post-game content that I didn't finish in that game, and they just added a new game plus mode. Can you really? I didn't play a lot of NetHack back in the day. I might burn this potion. Man, this is pretty fucking wild for being the first floor. Themo, have you had a chance to play Dead Cells at all? Dead Cells is another roguelike game. It's I don't know if you ever played Rogue Legacy at all, but Dead Cells is kind of patterned after Castlevania style games. But you do the unlocking and everything like a roguelike. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. I think it actually has like a full release now. I bought it last year when it was still early access. I want to get back into it, but I don't know if I'm gonna play it on PC or pick it up for the Switch to play it. I didn't realize that Wonder Boy and Monsterland had a coin-op version. That was really weird. Alright, that's cool. So it appears the battery has died on my controller, so that's fun. That's actually a pretty cool feature. So, there was a re-release of a Monster Boy game, or Wonder Boy game recently. Alright, I have to check on this controller status here. Let's see, what do we got? I've had computers for a really long time. I started with a Commodore 64, and man, did I ever hate that thing compared to my Nintendo. My dad had always bought computers, but early on, you know, computers weren't really good for jack squat. Alright, I got my upgrade, so I guess I'm going to use these healing wells and go to the next floor. Alright, floor 3. Yeah, so did you have a tape drive for your Commodore 64? Because we just had the floppy disks, the 5 1/4 quarter floppies. And damn, did it take forever to load a game off of a floppy. Yeah, we didn't have any of that extra shit. Just the floppy drive. No tape, no cartridge, no cartridges. So playing anything was like a sit and wait ordeal. Like if you wanted to load up, man, I remember it used to take like 20 or 30 minutes to load up Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, we went from a so we went from the Commodore 64 to I want to say it was like, is it all 286 desktop? Not an old 286 desktop. A 286 desktop. It wasn't old back then. It was brand new. And then a 386, and then a 486, and then we ended up with a an AMD, like early AMD processor. But I, like, truth be told, I was a filthy console gamer. I'd been a filthy console gamer for a really long time. Just because of the simplicity of it. I went from having an NES to a Genesis, and then from that to a, God, what was the progression there? I had a Sega Saturn. Like a fool, I had a Sega Saturn instead of a PlayStation. Yeah, so I had my Saturn for a little while. Actually, I still have my Saturn. Had my Saturn. Got a PlayStation because, I mean, really, that's where that's where all the major gaming was happening. I didn't get a Nintendo 64 until I was like well into my adulthood. And then I had a Dreamcast, and I've had pretty much everything since then. Yeah, I had a GameCube, but okay, so like console gaming cardinal sins, right? So I didn't have a Nintendo 64. So I never played Ocarina of Time. I had a GameCube, and I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I have Wind Waker. I'd have to go check, but I never finished Wind Waker. And then the Wii came after the GameCube. I have Twilight Princess, but I never finished it. I have Skyward Sword, but I never finished it. And then what came out? Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was the most recent one. The Neo Geo's badass. I can't think of a console that had a longer lifespan than the Neo Geo, given that it was like literally an arcade board that you bought to have in your house. And they produced games for that thing for years and years. Yeah, so the console was expensive on its own, but then weren't the games really expensive? I mean, SNK made some of the best fighting games. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone's like all up on stream. SNK definitely had the best fighting games. I don't care what anyone says. I still have all my gaming handhelds too. So, you know, everyone had a Game Boy. I feel like everyone had a Game Boy. And then there were some outliers there that had like Game Gears and stuff like that, but not nearly as many people that had Game Boys. We traveled a lot when I was younger, so it was nice having the Game Boy. Well, this is shitty. I never found the healing fountain, so now I have to go find it with like 1/8 health. Wait, hold up. Up until recently you did not, okay, well that explains it. You hate phones. Alright, fair enough. I don't remember what the exact catalyst was for me getting a cell phone, but I decided to buy a cell phone. And I've had one ever since. I think they're great, personally. I could definitely understand why some people do not like them. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a good point. And I'm dead. I think I'm gonna switch games. I think I'm gonna switch over to Dead Cells, honestly.